Well, good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Good evening.
We're going to have some fun. We're at Hump Day.
Happy
So
Hump Day.
we're doing this, and then we're going to be live with It's Happening Out.
Yes, it's going to be a party.
Busy.
Lots of news tonight. We're going to talk about crazy people in the world. And,
The crazy Karens.
You're going to be talking about me because I'm right here.
I feel attacked, Jonathan.
Thank you.
Welcome back,
Here in a
Papa.
while.
Thank you, Mama.
Lexi and Greg and that
been-
loud lesbian girl.
Who's that? Oh, me.
Say woo!
Say who?
Someone bring her volume down.
Never, Jonathan and
All
Joy.
right, let's talk about penis.
I'm here for it.
Okay.
Well, welcome to Queer News Tonight, the world's first and only LGBTQ plus evening news. It's time to queer up the news. It is 8 p.m. Wednesday, August 11th, and we are literally out of the closet and into the headlines. So many of your important stories we're going to tell this evening on Queer News Tonight. This is the world's first live daily LGBTQ plus evening news show. Literally out of the closet and into the headlines on Queer News Tonight with Al Ferguson.
Hello, and thank you for joining Queer News Tonight. This is the world's first and only unedited, live LGBTQ plus evening news show. Whatever happens, you will see it. Queer News Tonight is supported by viewers like you. Yeah, you. We are part of the Happening Out television network, HotSpots magazine, and WMEG events. HotSpots is celebrating 35 years of the LGBTQ plus experience. And merged, we bring you the best of LGBTQ plus news, entertainment, and support of our LGBTQ plus community.
This evening, we bring you the news of and a perspective representing the LGBTQ plus community from South Florida, America, and across our planet. I'm your anchor at Queer News Tonight, Al Ferguson. Let's welcome anchor Faye What? She's a radio and television personality, a great mugger, and has the popular blog and YouTube channel aiming to unite the L and the G together. She's a hostess and an MC for many South Florida events, an animal advocate and owner of Faye's Fur Family, and is the anchor of the travel news show Happening Out Travel. Also, make sure you catch The Faye What Show Tuesdays at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. And I'm exhausted by even telling you all of that. Good evening, Faye.
Good evening, everyone. I just started working out, and I'm going to start with my shoulder. Look. That's all I got so far. Let's see what happens next time. All right, let's welcome Gregg Shapiro. So Gregg Shapiro is a world-renowned LGBTQ plus writer. Gregg is the author of 7 books. Yes, 7. He wrote them all himself, no help at all, including the 2021 expanded edition of his short story collection, How to Whistle.
Don't look at me.
Does anybody have any tranquilizers?
An entertainment journalist, Shapiro's celebrity interviews and reviews run in a variety of regional LGBTQ plus and mainstream publications and websites. And his screensaver movie reviews can be found in South Florida Gay News, San Francisco's Bay Area Reporter, RottenTomatoes.com, and much more. Good evening, Greg.
Good evening, Faye and y'all. Thanks for having me back. Let's welcome anchor Lexi Goza. She is the chair of the Miami-Dade Gay and Lesbian Chamber's Women's Empowerment Council, board member of the Aqua Foundation for Women. She is also the former founder and president of PFLAG Melbourne and former president of Space Coast Pride. She owns a State Farm insurance agency in downtown Miami, certified as an LGBTQ plus business enterprise by the National Gay and Lesbian Chamber of Commerce. Good evening, Lexi.
Good evening, Greg. I may need you to teach me how to whistle. I'm just saying, I can't do it at all. So next, let's welcome anchor Jonathan Casanas. He is a board member of Forward Miami, a nonprofit organization working to unite South Florida's diverse community in order to advance progress and unifying diverse South Florida communities through civic engagement, cultural programming, and education in order to prosper. He is also the co-host of the Miami Community News Forward Miami show, airing Fridays at 4 p.m. Good evening, Jonathan.
Good evening, guys. Aren't you glad you know me now? We are the reporters for Queer News Tonight, and this evening we begin with the queer headlines. The LGBTQ plus community in South Florida and across America is diverse. Our community across the world is vast, and here are the bullet points of the queer news for today, Wednesday, August 11th.
Well, let's begin by queering up the USA. Human Rights Campaign has launched an investigation into the leader's work for Andrew Cuomo. The HRC and its foundation said in a statement on Monday that they have hired an experienced outside law firm to conduct an internal investigation of the work of President Alfonso David. According to the statement, the firm will investigate what David's connection is to the claims against Cuomo and whether his actions aligned with the HRC's mission and values, as well as with professional and ethical standards. David has forced and faced mounting criticism after an investigative report was released last week, detailing a laundry list of allegations against the former New York governor. The report by the state attorney general, Letitia James, claimed Cuomo had sexually harassed 11 women and violated state and federal law. According to the report, a prominent leader of Time's Up, Roberta Kaplan, and David are accused of being involved in efforts by the governor's office to discredit ex-Cuomo aide and his first accuser, Lindsey Boylan.
Ooh, sordid lives, right? So much going on there.
Scandal.
I am waiting for Mr. David to resign, just like Cuomo.
Yes,
like before it goes down, just saying, oye,
Thank
me
you.
voy pa'l carajo. You know, like I'm out of here. I'm not
Thank
gonna
you.
own up to nothing.
Same, like if we're gonna cancel everybody else, we need to cancel our own. Let's play by the rules. If we're gonna start canceling people that we don't know are innocent or guilty, then mama, you should step down before we find out what's real tea. And I think that's what's important here.
No one's exempt. That's the
No.
truth. And it's another lesson about just be careful who you associate with, because professionally and personally, because it can come back at you.
So can you imagine that this guy can be part of like a lynchman? He would be part of like a smear campaign. Like if Lexi, you said I touched you, which I totally would, right?
Yeah.
And then you would go tell Jonathan, then this guy would go, okay, let's start saying that Lexi, you can't be trusted. And then she's done this and she's done that. Like, wow, one of our own doing something like shady and, well, yeah, I guess I can see that.
Yeah,
Well, yeah.
100,000%.
So leading nonprofit organizations for so long, one of the biggest mottos that I had was we have to make sure that we elevate ourselves and never even leave the vision that there is anything going on, that we're beyond reproach, like you said, because this is what's going to happen. It's going to be found out, and is it worth it? And the answer is no.
Yeah, of course, these were actions before he came to the HRC. This is a follow-up story. Of course, we're going to follow this at Queer News Tonight. This is big ramifications for our community. I think what is particularly interesting to me in this story is that first, he is a person of color. Is gay and absolutely understands marginalized communities. And if he participated in any way to discredit her or participate in a smear campaign, a person of color who is gay is helping harm somebody else in a marginalized community. And by the way, the marginalized community here is women. They are a marginalized community, and that's the point of the Cuomo impeachment or allegations. The second thing, though, I do want to say is I'm a little uncomfortable in the rush to judgment. Now, I was uncomfortable with Governor Cuomo's rush to judgment. I thought he should have his day in court. His decisions to resign were his decisions to resign. As it relates to Alfonso David, I do think, while I agree with virtually every single thing that has been said here, we don't want to rush too fast. We want to make sure that everything comes out. But if the first indications are what they are, a resignation is absolutely called for, in my opinion.
God's gonna get you for that, Alfonso. That's all I gotta say. All right, next, let's queer up HotSpots. In HotSpots now, Madonna's Madam X documentary gets into the groove. So, did you miss Madonna's Madam X tour? The album? Well, now's your chance to get acquainted with it when Paramount Plus drops her tour documentary, also called Madam X, on Friday, October 8th. Shot during the Lisbon dates of her 2019 concert tour, the spectacle of it all incorporates a lot of high-concept sets, costumes, of course, musicians, and dancers. 48 of those to be exact. Yeah, lick your lips for that. Directed by Portuguese photographer Ricardo Gomes in collaboration with SKNX, the team that created Amazon Prime's documentary Madonna's World of Madam X. The concert film will showcase the ambitious concept album's influences rooted in international pop. You can find out more about this upcoming documentary in HotSpots magazine on stands now.
Oh my God, we've seen your titties, girl. Stop.
Right.
Relax. How to like inspire someone and grow yourself. Like another documentary, great. I missed the tour and the album, and that was on purpose.
Now,
Good idea.
if the exact same documentary was Ricky Martin, you wouldn't be saying
That's not fair, right?
It
Wait,
called
Is that truthful?
Yes.
He reinvented himself once. Like Madonna's she's been doing this for 50 years, and she jumps on a table and sticks her titties out and expects us to love her. Like,
If this was Madonna 20 years ago, you'd be all over it.
oh, 100%.
All over it.
It's not nice to be ageist.
Right.
So I was feeling a
Oh,
little
no,
bit
no.
of FOMO because I had tickets to the concert in Miami Beach, and I did not go because of two reasons. First and foremost, she was so rude to the people who attended the night before, and it was all over. I'm sure that's not going in the documentary. And then the second piece was when we got there, she required everyone to put all of their devices into a bag that you could not access for the entire concert. And the person I was with was not able to do that because she had elderly parents that she cares for. And so at that point, we just didn't go. And so I was experiencing some FOMO, but
And then she was gonna be 3 hours late anyway.
Right,
to get started.
exactly.
Didn't you go to that concert?
Yeah,
Yes, you did.
I was going to say every time. Well, first off, let me say the good thing. I have an autograph signed version of the sex book, and it's amazing, and I really appreciate it. She did me a solid on that one.
Aren't you moving soon? I'll help you move.
However, every time we do a story on Madonna, I get Madonna PTSD because I sat in American Airlines Arena for 3 hours as the poor DJ set up twice and called back repeatedly because she was 3 hours late. And when she finally came on stage and everyone booed her, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people booed her, she said, "What the F are you talking about? This is Miami. We're a late city." That's how she apologized.
Well, and who does she think she is? Grace Jones?
Yeah, that's right. Who does she think she is? Madonna?
Yeah,
right.
right?
All right. Go.
Okay, now we seriously grown up politics. A new study shows queer politicians still face electoral discrimination at the ballot box. A new study has come out that examines voter preferences when it comes to lesbian, gay, and transgender politicians. It has found that despite incremental progress and inclusion, discrimination remains prevalent at the ballot box, but it is not equal in all parts of the world. The study was published in the Journal of Politics, and it was authored by Gabrielle Magny and Andrew Reynolds. Conducted in 2018, the researchers surveyed over 4,000 voters across the United States, United Kingdom, and New Zealand. Participants were asked to cast their vote for pairs of hypothetical candidates with diverse backgrounds and identities. Bisexual candidates were not included, and the paper does not address this comment.
I want to know why they didn't include bisexuals, because they make up most of the LGBTQ plus community. But I also want to know, like, you know, what do they expect from a candidate when we are in a world where it's less progressive than most? So if we come to you and we say we have these values, you don't accept us. So now we're supposed to change our values just so that we can get into middle America or these other rural areas that really don't hold the same values as we do. Yeah, sure, we want the white picket fence, sure, we want the family, but you just don't believe us. And that's what it comes down to.
Yeah, I want to snowball off of that too and just say, how many times are we going to leave the B out of LGBTQ+? Let's not do that.
Didn't we all start being a B?
Right? We were like tiptoeing into that bisexual water, right?
I'm a Kinsey 6, so I don't know.
Yeah, we leave it out because mostly it's not a real thing.
He's lying. He doesn't mean that.
But don't you think that Pete Buttigieg could be the model for
100%.
the gay politicians, you know, for the future? So let's hope he keeps doing a good job at what he's doing and
Well,
be an example.
And we also have to hope and pray that voters educate themselves on these people that are running for office. Because, you know, for me, I'm embarrassed to say, but before I gave a S, right?
Yeah.
I would just vote on a Spanish last name, and if it was a woman,
Yes.
that's who I would go across the board.
Been there,
Yeah,
done
but
that.
are you okay with candidates kind of switching themselves? Like, let's say Pete Buttigieg is kind of the perfect candidate, and we follow his lead, right? He was the guy who was in the military. He was the guy who had the same morals, same traditional values. He just had a husband, right? He wanted the white picket fence. He wanted the dog. He had the same. So do we have to become him to be a candidate in politics?
In most instances,
See.
we do, and the proof of that, and it's not right, and we hope to change that over the years. But there's 1,000 publicly held LGBTQ political elected officials in the United States, which is exciting, and that's great. It's at an all-time high. The downside of that is LGBT represents in elected officials just 0.07%. Our population percentage is approximately 7. So we would have to have 25 to 28,000 LGBTQ elected officials to represent our population base of our marginalized community. We have just 1,000. So the answer to your question is absolutely, we're not accepted. And if we want that to grow, we have to make changes to do it. It doesn't make it right, but I think what I just said is factually correct.
Next, let's queer up sports. Tennis player wears rainbow gear after using anti-gay slurs at Olympics. It was all rainbows in Canada for Italian tennis player Fabio Fognini this week, following his homophobic outburst last month at the Olympics. While he was shouting anti-gay slurs during a match at the Summer Olympic Games in Tokyo in late July, Monday was a different story, as Fognini was sporting 3 different rainbow accessories at the ATP 1000 tennis tournament in Toronto, a rainbow headband and 2 rainbow wristbands. During his heated Olympics match, a clearly frustrated Fognini repeatedly yelled an anti-gay slur at himself. He also threw his racket and removed his shirt to cool himself throughout the match. His opponent, Medvedev, required medical attention when he nearly fainted from the heat during play, but he was able to complete the match and defeat Fognini in 3 sets. After the incident, Fognini said in a post on Instagram, quote, "In today's match, I used a really stupid expression towards myself. Obviously, I didn't want to offend anyone's sensibilities. I love the LGBTQ community, and I apologize for the nonsense that came out of me," end quote.
Can I jump right in and say, is this the epitome of rainbow vomiting all over yourself?
Everybody knows that if you're going to represent us, you're only going to wear 1 rainbow thing. You're not going to wear 3. That is like overkill. We don't like that. Okay, I'm sorry,
And
dude.
sword upside down.
Yeah, not fabulous.
And she wore it upside down.
I will
you
say,
know?
like where where do we go? Where do we stop canceling people? Because the baby doubled down on his like homophobic slurs, and he immediately. By the way, he lost, so fuck her, right? But immediately the next moment you saw him, he was wearing rainbow accessories, which was saying like, look, I'm sorry, right? Like, where do we stop canceling people and saying at least he's trying?
No, pero papi, say something. Don't put on 3 rainbows. We don't own the rainbows, okay? Like, I'm sorry, everybody thinks we do, but we don't. Like, that's not saying I'm sorry to us, dude. It's just not. And what was he screaming to himself? Like, I was looking everywhere for it. And it's like, and then Greg showed you. Show me how, Greg. Show me how you do it. He said that's how he did it. All right.
You know,
Well, did anybody else think that Medvedev might have swooned because he saw Fognini take his shirt off?
That was
He
my
did
thought.
take
Anybody?
it off.
I know.
Yeah.
You think that could have made him want to swoon and faint?
And does the
Come
heat
on.
make
The
people?
heat.
Does the heat make people gay? Because it's hot as hell down here. It doesn't make me straight anytime.
wait, we are in the gayest place on planet Earth. The heat does definitely
Make
make
it
us gay.
Yeah.
Come on.
True.
You know, Fognini should be forgiven for his sins here, if they're sins. I mean, my goodness, if the worst thing that you do to offend the LGBTQ community is to bathe yourself in rainbow flags, my goodness, thank you for being an ally. And to Twitter, who has literally destroyed him over what he said in Tokyo. to our community, back off. Good Lord.
You know how you can say, I'm sorry, you can make that headband and those 2 wristbands into a thong. Okay? You can say, I'm sorry, and we will take that apology real quick.
We could talk about Fognini through the entire rest of the show. We probably should move on.
Fognini.
Fognini, yeah.
Next, let's queer up the USA. Psychotic school board official has homophobic meltdown while resisting arrest, and oh my God, you guys, watch this.
You're under arrest.
For what? Record this. For what?
Interfering.
Liz,
Interfering with what?
You piece of shit!
You're under arrest.
Fuck you faggot!
What's he under arrest for?
Interfering with what? We gave you.
Government administration. You're under arrest.
We did not give you legal permission to go into my vehicle. Do you have a warrant to be in my vehicle?
Neither did you.
Do you guys have a warrant?
Cutting my arm. Loosen it.
Then stop resisting.
I've been trying to get it off because it hurts. Loosen it.
You need to calm down. Take a breath.
It's hard to calm down when somebody's physically overtaking you because you didn't have a warrant.
Tight, okay.
We're trying to fix it right now.
I'm calming down. Now loosen it because you're literally cutting my fucking arm. Record how fucking.
I am. I can see it.
These fucking pieces of shit.
Stop pulling away and it will
I'm making sure that if this can be seen on video so that my husband can see how fucking tight it is for when we sue the shit out of you.
Is that my ex-girlfriend?
Oh!
She looks so familiar.
Rochelle Kelly is a member of the Weir School Board in New Hampshire who doesn't think students should be required to wear masks in the classroom, believes COVID-19 death rates are being exaggerated, and says police officers are, in her words, faggots. A video of the 33-year-old mom spewing homophobic vitriol at an officer who was arresting her during a traffic stop last month has just surfaced on Twitter. The incident, which was recorded by Kelly's husband, happened on July 25th. The couple was driving in their car when police stopped them for having an expired inspection sticker and state registration. They were issued 2 citations, and that's when Kelly apparently lost her shit. According to Weir Police Chief Christopher Moore, Kelly had previously been issued a warning for the expired registration 4 days earlier.
Oh my God, this girl needs a Klonopin and Jesus.
Like-
Oh my Lord.
I
Like,
feel like she was on something.
I'm pretty sure she thinks she has Jesus.
Uh,
To be fair, one of the cops did have a handlebar gay club mustache. She was
porn
confused.
stash threw her off, you're saying.
And does she kiss her kids with that mouth?
Of course she does.
Well, okay, but that is the reason why we can't get this pandemic under control. People like that, though, that Miss Karen, all right, which still, call me, because you look like my ex-girlfriend. But anyway, that's the reason, guys.
You
That's
hate
it.
all of her policies, but you're turned on by it.
Because that psychoness is hot in bed. You guys don't understand. She could call me F word all she wants in bed, but I mean, outside of it, you got to mind your P's and Q's,
And
girl.
say what you were saying while the clip was playing. Like, it's true. If this was a person of color, they would have handled that very differently.
Isn't that messed up, though, Jonathan,
Very
that I had to say that? And I was afraid to say that on air, but it's actually the truth. If that was a black or brown person of color, it would have been completely different. It would have been on the ground with a knee on her freaking neck, okay? And it's not that case because she's a white woman, okay, from wherever the hell she's from. I mean, that's awful.
And I just want to know, like, why do all of the white Karens look the same and terrible? I'm telling you.
Because they can't find gay hair.
I am way older.
And terrible.
Can we allow that to digest just a moment in sound for our audience? Why do all the white Karens look the same?
I'm serious. I'm looking at her and they're saying she's 33 years old. And I'm like, damn, girl, you're not aging well.
Right?
You need
It's
to
that hatred spewing through her pores. That's why
Yes.
she looks like
It's
that.
all that Chick-fil-A she eats. That's what's
Oh,
going
my
on.
God. Exactly what it is.
Faster. It is what it is. I don't touch that stuff. Look how
all the
nice
hate.
and young I look.
Okay.
Come on.
That's right. That's right.
Samesies.
Ageless, baby. No Chick-fil-A here.
You know, when I saw this story, I pulled off my shelf the "What do you do with Karens" handbook, and the best way you handle Karens when they call the arresting police officers faggots, the best thing that you do is you call Karen out by saying her name over and over again. So in Twitter and Facebook and YouTube, she is searched over and over and over again.
Yes.
Love that.
Rochelle Kelly. Rochelle Kelly.
Rochelle Kelly!
Exactly. Thank you.
So that is our queer headlines for today. Rochelle Kelly! Queer headlines for today. Now let's catch up on the LGBTQ plus news surrounding COVID-19 with our special segment called Quarantine Quickies.
Queer News Tonight has reported on coronavirus on every news broadcast since January 6th, 2020.
Tonight, we report that as of today, more than 2,582,000 LGBTQ plus Americans have contracted COVID-19.
Queer News Tonight remembers the more than 44,000 LGBTQ plus Americans that have died from coronavirus.
But the news is improving because as of today, more than 352 million vaccination doses have been administered in the United States.
That is our pandemic news for tonight. Next, we report on our partnership with Sunshine Cathedral, the world's largest queer church here in Fort Lauderdale. We are broadcasting from our permanent set here at the Sunshine in supporting that partnership.
Happening Out Television Network broadcasts the largest LGBTQ plus religious live broadcast in the world, as more than 30,000 watch every Sunday at 10:30 a.m. Eastern. Watch this.
I'm John Buckley from Unity Coalition and Celebrate Orgullo, and Sunshine Cathedral is my queer church.
Next, we thank Queer News Tonight's sponsor, Best Western I-95 Fort Lauderdale. This is the closest and best choice to the famous Wilton Drive, and our hosts and guests stay at this LGBTQ plus ally partner. We encourage you to stay here when visiting South Florida.
Finally, Queer News Tonight supports our South Florida nonprofit LGBTQ plus health providers. An outstanding example is Care Resource.
If you need care, Care Resource can help regardless of your health needs, immigration status, religious beliefs, gender, age, if you are insured or uninsured.
Care Resource provides a wide variety of LGBTQ plus services, including medical care, behavioral health, dental care, testing and prevention, transgender care, PrEP, Food for Life Network, and more. At Care Resource, they care for all who need quality healthcare service.
Well, now we finish tonight's queer news headlines with what we call LGBTQ Flash News. In LGBTQ Flash News, holy representation, Batman! Robin comes out as bisexual.
Finally.
As of yesterday, there's a new LGBTQ plus superhero on the block, but DC Comics readers already know him well. The latest issue of Batman Urban Legends, a monthly anthology series, revealed that the Caped Crusader's longtime sidekick, Robin, specifically the Tim Drake version of him, is, well, bisexual. The moment came at the end of part 3 of the Sum of Our Parts, I love that title, story from writer Megan Fitzmartin, artist Bailyn Ortega, colorist Alejandro Sanchez, and letterer Pat Brousseau. Robin joins other LGBTQ plus characters that came out recently, like Batwoman and Loki.
Tim Drake or not, he's 81 years old and he just came out. See, you're never too old to come out and be queer.
The gay haircut, the strong jawline, the cheekbones, flawless.
Chris O'Donnell, Robin, nipples on his shoot. We became bisexual for him too, so it only makes sense he would be.
Right?
I knew it from the moment that my brother made me play Robin during his Batman and Robin episodes.
Holy hole, Batman!
LGBTQ plus Flash News. Aretha Franklin's biopic Respect opens with a purposely queer moment. Watch this.
How is Aretha doing?
Aretha's doing alright.
Just alright. Singing is sacred, and you shouldn't do it just because somebody wants you to. What's most important is that you are treated with dignity and respect.
You're special, Ree. You have a talent they call genius.
You better think about what you're trying to do to me.
How old is she? She's 10, but her voice is going on 30, honey.
How many albums have you had? 4. And no hits.
I need you to focus and avoid frivolous distractions.
Honey, find the songs that move you. Until you do that, you ain't going nowhere. I need a change. I want to sing what I want to sing.
Okay.
Find out what it means to me.
You really like it?
We love it.
Riri.
Riri.
It's really good.
I got a single by this new chick named Aretha Franklin.
To present Aretha Franklin Day.
You're not about to mess this up for me.
Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Aretha Franklin.
This song goes out to anyone who's ever felt mistreated.
I used to feel sure.
You need to take a break.
I know how to run my business.
Have you lost your mind?
Maybe I found it.
I believe I have the chills.
Do you see what she is?
She's a miracle.
The spectacular life of the iconic Aretha Franklin comes to the big screen in her new biopic, Respect. While her activism is centered in the movie, her allyship has not been forgotten by her LGBTQ+ fans. The title song became anthemic in its time for anyone demanding a little respect, which included Black people fighting for their civil rights and any oppressed group ready to be heard. It's easy to see why queer people have related to it and Miss Franklin so much over the years. In the opening sequence, Aretha's father asked her to sing, and in the crowd are 2 men visibly flirting with each other.
Well, I just hope it's better than the Cynthia Erivo version of the Aretha Franklin story. That's all I'm saying.
Well, girl, she makes me feel like a natural woman. Yeah.
Nice.
Yes, ma'am. Everybody needs to see this movie.
How am I supposed to follow that? Okay, so I love the movies where they put you in the scene where the songs are being developed.
Yes.
That's what I loved about the Freddie Mercury, the Elton John movies. I can't wait to see it. I have goosebumps.
When I watch Jennifer Hudson, first off, Jennifer Hudson, let's make sure that we're out there with that.
Yes.
When I watch this movie, I'm going to think in the time period of Respect, and the song coming out with Aretha Franklin is in the exact same time period of the Stonewall riots in New York. And I think of Marsha P. Johnson picking up whatever she picked up and threw, saying, I need a little respect.
Yes. You know, we'll watch anything with Queen in the title.
Work, mama.
Oh, and there's nothing natural about you, by the way, Jonathan. All right, go.
LGBTQ news. Inside Grindr's first original TV series. Johnny O'Neill and Jimmy Fowley are the creator and star, respectively, of Bridesman, which after its premiere at Outfest LA on August 14th, will be the first original scripted series from Grindr. The series will be 6 episodes, averaging about 10 minutes each, that will be hosted on the app and hopefully on another platform in the future. Fowley, who's appeared in episodes of The Other Two and Two Broke Girls, plays Terry, a single gay man who returns to his hometown to be a bridesmaid or bridesman for his childhood best friend. However, as someone who rejects the concept of marriage and happens to be sexually attracted to the groom, his agenda is actually sabotage, ideally accomplished by sleeping with the groom himself.
Well, I thought Grindr's first original TV series was going to be a porno, but whatever. Good for you, Grindr.
Right? That's what I thought. 10 minutes? It doesn't take you that long to find a guy on Grindr.
10 minutes? It doesn't take that long to finish with a guy on Grindr.
You're welcome.
Grindr is ready to entertain us without a boner.
And Al stole my line.
LGBTQ plus flash news. Denne Michele Norris breaks new ground as editor-in-chief at Electric Literature.
Yay.
Yay! Denne Michele Norris has become the first Black and openly trans editor-in-chief of a major U.S. literary publication. The acclaimed author, podcast host, and essayist will take charge of the cutting-edge digital publication Electrical Literature Publishers Weekly Reports. Norris co-hosts the popular Food for Thought podcast alongside Tommy Pico, Joseph Osmundson, and Fran Tirado, which its creators characterize as like NPR, but on poppers. The Harlem resident, who uses she/they pronouns, came out as trans earlier this year. Electric Literature was originally minted as a quarterly publication and the first fiction magazine designed for iPhone and iPad. Its content reaches a digital readership of 5 million annually.
You know, in a year that has been the worst that I have ever seen in headlines for the trans community, I also draw attention to stories like this. We are watching trans women, men, people of color move to positions in our society unlike we've ever seen before. So with all the terrible things that we're seeing, we're also seeing a lot of amazing things.
And I love that 5 million people are seeing that annually.
And Denne is a badass, so great appointed. She has a great podcast. She's a great addition to Electric, for sure.
And just leave it to us literary types to take care of.
Okay. I'm so proud of you, Denne. I hope you become the next Devil's Worst product, because if not, I'm going to cancel you. But anyway,
right.
So that's today's news for the LGBTQ plus community on the world's first and only daily LGBTQ plus evening news show. Is our community important to you?
Then help us by liking and subscribing, ring the bell for updates, share this news with your friends and family.
Post this broadcast in the many groups you are a member of. Tonight's stories about our community deserve the attention of your family and friends.
Queer News Tonight is the only live LGBTQ plus digital television news in the world that is out of the closet and into the headlines. We need your support.
If our community is to grow, we must tell our stories and bring them to the attention of the broader world. This is the only place in the world that tells these LGBTQ stories in motion and sound. And I remind you, an example of motion and sound is Rochelle Kelly.
Rochelle Kelly.
Rochelle Kelly. Well, that is the passion of Happening Out Television Network and Queer News Tonight. I'm your anchor, Al Ferguson, and on behalf of these LGBTQ reporters, the anchors of Queer News Tonight, including Faye What, Gregg Shapiro, Lexi Goza, and Jonathan Casanas. We will see you daily at 8 p.m. Good night.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye.
LGBTQ plus news is vital for our community and for the broader world as a whole. We have enough enemies at Fox News. Tucker, Sean, and Laura are loud. We need passionate allies. Happening Out Television Network, Queer News Tonight, and It's Happening Out are literally out of the closet and into the headlines. Our community needs your support. Like this broadcast and subscribe now.